Have you ever visited another country? And if so, which one and why? Hello, my name is Addie Bickers, and thank you for taking the time to watch my presentation on traveling to Turkey. I firsthand went to Turkey and saw the culture, the colorful, rich culture with my own eyes. I'm going to share with you today why we being me, my mom, my dad, and my brother, why we visited, what we saw, and the way the two cultures, America's and Turkey's cultures differentiate. I hope you are as inspired to visit other countries as much as I am. So point one, why we visited. So my mom, my dad, my brother, and I have always loved this family that we went out to go visit. And this family has had a heart for Turkey, and we've had a heart for this family. So we went out to go visit our friends who lived in Turkey. We have been really close friends with them for the longest time, well over 11 years, ever since we both lived in Washington, D.C. And we longed to go visit them and had an opportunity last summer. So because the father had been to Turkey before, he kind of knew some cool places to go, which leads us to our second point, which is the things that my family and I saw. In Ankara, because it's such a new capital, there's not many old things there that are cool to visit, but however, we did get to go see a castle in Ankara. Now, because this castle wasn't like Ephesus, not this big name, ruins, we had the availability to climb on it and hang out around it. Now, we did visit Istanbul for a day, and while we were there, we got to see many wonderful mosques, the biggest one being the Blue Mosque. I love the Blue Mosque. It is gorgeous, especially the mosaics, the blue mosaics on the ceiling. It's stunning. And the second mosque we visited was the Hagia Sophia. And the Hagia Sophia's architecture, again, is just gorgeous. Similar to the Blue Mosque. The way it's created, and it's like brown and cream colors, it's gorgeous. Now, the Hagia Sophia's architecture varies a lot from typical church architecture or religious architecture in America, which leads me to my third point, which is the culture contrast between the two countries. The first culture contrast, which is most likely the biggest culture contrast, is the language. The language is very fascinating because once you figure out what sounds each of the letters make, it's extremely phonetic. Somewhat of a culture shock for me was seeing capitalized dotted I's. In America, our dotted I's are lowercase, and then our capitalized I's have two lines on the top to signify that it's a capital I. In Turkey, their I's are just straight lines, and there you will see capitalized dotted I's because the dotted I's make the I sound, and the undotted I's make the I sound. So they have two separate letters for I and I. Another culture contrast is the Turkish tea. Americans don't really have a tradition like Turkish tea. I'm not really sure what to compare it to in America, but this tea is given in little tulip-shaped bottles, or tulip-shaped glasses, and they give it to you. Some are at restaurants, others are at shops. Some shops will give you tea as you shop. It's wonderful, and it is extremely strong, so you need about 6 pounds of sugar to go with your tea, but it's very delicious once it's sweet enough. The third and final culture contrast between America and Turkey is the size. America is massive. We have most of the 7 biomes. We have grasslands in like Kansas, Nebraska. We have forests on the East Coast. We have beaches. We have desert. We even have tundra up in Alaska. But in Turkey, it's mostly desert. Ankara Ankara is in about the center of Turkey, pretty much direct center, and you can see even on Google Maps, you look at Turkey or look at Ankara, and there's about a green little circle, and then on the edge of it, it's just all brown and brown desert and mountains. It's very gorgeous, but it's very brown. So to conclude, Turkey is a wonderful country and I hope to visit again. I love learning more about the fascinating culture that makes up Turkey. I love seeing old friends and going to fun places and learning more about Turkey. I hope this inspires you just as much as it inspired me to go visit a new country. Thank you for listening to my presentation.